Welcome to the Investor Empowerment Series radio show, empowering your real estate investing with techniques, opportunities, and information, minus the BS and sales pitches. Now, please welcome the host of the Investor Empowerment Series, Joe Mueller, from the Tough as Nails Investment Syndicate. Joe Mueller.
Hey investors, I wanted to give a quick insider opportunity to the listeners out there who are currently doing deals or just getting started and looking to create more financial efficiencies for their real estate business. Introducing Investors Title Services, a much lower cost option for procuring the necessary title insurance policies for your real estate transactions. Think about how much money you've spent on title insurance in the past on either your current purchases or sales, and think about how much you'd be savings if just a couple $100s per transaction ended up back in your pocket. Well, now you can by optimizing the relationships that other investors have established that you currently need for your business. That's what we do here at Investors Title Services. If you're a fix and flipper, a wholesaler, or a buy and hold landlord, we specifically serve this small niche, offering you the best deal on title policy insurance. Call 847-443-9676 today to learn more about how you can save hundreds of dollars, if not more, on your next title insurance policy.
You're listening to the Investor Empowerment Series radio show, episode number 73, I think. Or 74. I got to double check that. Yeah, I know it's been a couple weeks since I actually recorded a podcast. Hopefully you guys missed me. This is your host, Joe Mueller, owner of TANIS Group, investor extraordinaire of the Chicagoland area and kind of the Midwest. The most humble and honest host that you're going to have on a podcast, trying to be as truthful as possible about their experiences and history. So today is Friday, January 12th. I'm back in the game after taking a few weeks off. You know, Christmas, holidays, Chanukah, dreidels, all that stuff. I felt it was necessary to kind of regather my thoughts and regroup. And I was working on a big project with my good buddy and partner, Dan Clarton, that we just consummated over this last weekend. So now my time is a little bit more free. I want to do something different, and I'm going to call this one 5-Minute Friday. And y'all know how much I can talk, so hopefully I can keep this within a close range of 5 minutes for 5-Minute Friday. How about we call it a few more than 5-Minute Friday? It is the beginning of 2018. Now's the time, people, to grab the bull by the horns and make a decision. Are you going to keep listening to this podcast and taking notes and thinking about how awesome we are and how much great information is on it? I hope so. Or are you going to actually do something? Are you going to take action? What really separates successful investors from those who fail is taking action. And you know what? Every failure is just a different way of doing something that you don't want to do again. You learn from the process. I can't say that enough. We just hosted a class at the office this last weekend about property acquisition. Some of you that are listening probably were there. Some of you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Doesn't really matter. The point is, the biggest message I saw was that, or the message that came from me that I realized, was that there's never 100% always, all the time, the right way to do something. There's always different ways you can try to get something done, right? And you got to take action in order to make something happen. It wasn't that long ago, and I actually told this story in the class, that an individual came out to one of the meetups who was standing by our refrigerator in our office here and enjoying themselves a few bottles of Miller Lite. And I noticed how quickly that person drank like 4 bottles, like within a 10-minute period. I was like, holy cow. I was like, what's going on over there? Somebody's tying one on tonight. And, you know, being the owner and the person who kind of is in charge of the office, I'm thinking, yeah, I better keep an eye on what's going on there. So I went up and talked to them. And what I found out was they had invested $70,000 $70,000 in various real estate education courses. That's right, $70,000. All on credit cards. Now, I don't know what courses they were. I don't know exactly what was paid to who or how many were taken. All I know is it was $70,000 worth of courses. My jaw dropped because that person had never purchased a single property. And honestly, even though some small actions were taken in order to try to get their real estate investing business off the ground, they gave up. They gave up under the pressure of all that debt. They gave up under the pressure of the fact that they were afraid that they weren't going to be able to succeed, and they had put so much money in that situation. And we're not even going to talk about the fact that you could have probably bought a house for $70,000 on credit cards. But that said, you got to move forward. You got to take action. I believe in education. I believe in reading, constantly immersing yourselves in any books you can about leadership, about investing, about finance, about real estate. Emulate the people that you want to be like. If you want to be a multimillionaire or billionaire, look at, Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. Look at Bill Gates. Look at Grant Cardone, for example, is a great representative of a very successful real estate investor who owns thousands of apartment units and has a multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar portfolio. To be honest, I don't even know, but I know he has a lot. The guy's written books, the 10X rule, how to 10X everything in your life. 10X meaning 10 times what you expect it. You need to plan it. You need to visualize it. Well, now's the time. It's the beginning of 2018. It's January. And if you haven't sat down and written down what your goals are for this year, you need to do it. Our next meetup in our office, which is coming up next week here, is going to be a goal planning session. Sounds pretty lame, right? I'm not going to sit there and write down my goals with all these people. Yeah, frankly, I don't really want to do it either. But it is so important and necessary for your business that it has to be done. So everyone listening to this podcast, if you haven't done it already, sit down, grab a piece of paper, take 20 minutes, and figure out what you want out of 2018 and grab it. You got to be able to. You got to write it down. You got to realize it. You got to create some ideas, and you got to put a time deadline on it. Look at last year's goals. If you had them, did you meet them? Did you get close? Well, if you got close, that's a freaking win in my book. If you're totally off the bar and you couldn't even get close, then maybe you need to reset your thought process and get some more achievable goals that are more realistic to you. I think everyone was in my shoes when I first dreamed of getting into real estate investing when I was a teenager. I didn't have anything. I had a job at a pizza place making like $4 an hour. Sometimes I get the delivery driver slot and I'd make like $10 an hour with tips. That was awesome, by the way. And a lot of free pizza. I lived off pizza. And those of you who know me now could see how that ended up shaping my current life. But anyway, that said, you gotta, everybody is in a position, good, bad, or indifferent, where they're constantly telling themselves, I don't think I can do that. I can't be like him. I can't be like her. I don't know if I can do that. That self-doubt will destroy you. You got to have grit. You got to have hustle. You got to have drive. Create that inner strength you need, just like with some type of fitness program or diet. Wake up every day with your goal in mind or goals in mind. Write them down, visualize them, put them on paper so they're in your face. Be honest with yourself. Be fair with other people. Don't expect things that you can't expect from someone else that you're not willing to do yourself. Build your team in 2018. If you haven't done this already, this is so important. And I'm not saying it just because I'm a realtor, broker, investor, because I have a title company, because I own part of a mortgage company. It doesn't really matter. All those things is every component I named off. You know why that I'm owning or partnering or being a part of that type of business? Because I want the best team that is possible. And you know what? I realize that if I'm involved in that type of those businesses, if I'm involved in the mortgage company, if I'm involved in the brokerage, if I'm involved in the title company, that there's no choice but success, because I need to drive. I'm the driving factor behind it. I shouldn't say that. The people that I'm partnered with and I are the driving factor behind it. So if you haven't already written your goals down for 2018, I want you to think about what would be the ideal accomplishment to really make a difference in your life this year, whether it be a cash flow, monthly cash flow goal, or a number of properties that you want to flip, or if you want to get into wholesaling, for example, how many wholesales, how much money are you looking to achieve while you're still working your job? Write it down. Come up with a plan. The number one thing you can do in 2018 is have a business plan. That's right, a business plan. There's tons of studies out there that actually document and suggest that entrepreneurs who create business plans almost double the chances of growing their businesses and obtaining whatever goals they're trying to hit just by creating one. Think about that. So as you're writing down your goals, start writing down the plan. You want to flip X number of houses. You want to flip 3. You want to flip 1. You want to flip 20. Well, can you yourself flip 20 houses on your own? Probably not. What's the solution? Or maybe you can, but I know I can't. Partner with people. Find other like-minded investors that have the same drive that you do in order to achieve those high-level goals. This all can be accomplished. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month in passive income from rental properties. It can be done. I know people that do it. I do it. Flipping houses without ever getting your hands dirty. I know people that do it. I do it. Achieving astronomical amounts of income-based goals starts with you setting the actual number in your head. So do that. One suggestion we had for our class that we held last weekend was write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to yourself telling you what your personal accomplishments or goals that you're trying to achieve in 2018 would be. Maybe it's losing weight. Maybe it's to diet better in general. Maybe it's to upgrade your living status to a new house or something like that. Then think about business. Do you want to start a new business? How do you do it? What resources are out there that you think you would need in order to accomplish that? Who can you tap into that's right around you in your inner circle of friends or family, colleagues, investors that might have a way to help you get a foot in the door? Family goals. Don't forget that. If you're married, this is hugely important. Set a goal for a vacation or for some type of family-based activity, whether it's a routine one every week or month or year, that's going to be satisfactory, that really makes you look back at what you've accomplished and feel satisfied with what you've done. Well, that's a little bit more than 5 minutes, people, but I hope you got something out of this. Again, this is 5 Minute Friday, the Investor Empowerment Series radio show. Set your goals. I want to hear them. Write into me. Tweet me, text me, email me, joe@tanisgroupllc.com, post it on Facebook, whatever. We just got sponsored and advertised on iHeartRadio, Spotify, some other venues in order to, I shouldn't say venues, some other avenues in order to broadcast this podcast. Get a hold of me. I'd love to hear your goals. I want to hear those numbers that are going to make you ultimately successful in 2018. $10,000 a month, $12,000 a month, $20,000 a month, 10 properties, 20 properties. I just closed a deal with one of our investors last week. He's got a handful of properties. He almost got killed during the crash. Took a little while to regain what he was working on, and now he's back at it again. He's gotten 2 properties closed in 2017. I think that's phenomenal. He's continuing to build his portfolio. He's continuing to add to his monthly passive income and his cash flow. You just got to do it. Take action. create that inner strength, have grit, make it happen. Joe Mueller signing off to a prosperous, successful 2018.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Investor Empowerment Series radio show. Be sure to tune in next week for another empowering episode.
Dude, that was totally awesome. I just look back as I'm going through this podcast. Yeah, that was like every bit of like 13 minutes of me yapping. So now it's going to be 15-minute Friday because apparently I can't contain myself to only 5 minutes. Crazy. Sorry. Hopefully you got something good out of it. See you around in 2018.